So moments ago, President Trump posting on Truth Social with a new warning to Iran. He writes, Iran, which is being beat to hell, has apologized and surrendered to its Middle East neighbors and promised that it will not shoot at them anymore. This promise was only made because of the relentless U.S. and Israeli attack. Today, Iran will be hit very hard, under serious consideration for complete destruction and certain death because of Iran's bad behavior. Are areas and groups of people that were not considered for targeting up until this moment in time. And it comes after the president held a meeting with executives from 7 defense industry giants yesterday in a bid to boost production of higher-tier weaponry amid the fighting in Iran. So let's turn to the wall and break down some of the numbers behind the conflict. Of course, from the very beginning, when you have asymmetrical warfare like this, you have a real problem because the United States has all of the money and the big weapons, but a place like Iran has lots of weapons, but they're much cheaper. For example, they are firing hundreds and they have thousands of these Iranian drones that cost them between $20,000 and $50,000 a piece to make. They have been the leaders in making those cheap drones. It costs us somewhere between $2 and $5 million each for, say, Patriot interceptors, or the THAAD interceptor to cost as much as $10 million each. So you can do the math and see that $2 million to shoot down a $20,000 drone, the math is very much against the United States in a situation like that. At the end of the first week, you're talking about several $1 billion worth of defense measures on our part. On the hope, though, is that what we have with the high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, the Helios, would allow us to shoot these things down a whole lot more cheaply. And, of course, in Ukraine has developed lots of strategies for using even cheaper drones as little as $2,500 a piece to take down those drones. Here to discuss is Steve Yates, former Deputy National Security Advisor for Vice President Cheney. He directed George Bush's national security team against Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. So great to have you this morning, Steve. So big picture right off the top. Is the United States running out of ammunition?
Well, according to the Secretary of War, we are, of course, using supply, but we still have plenty to conclude this mission. And just as you were noting, sort of in the math of they've expended a lot to the point where they're now sort of apologizing to their neighbors and maybe pulling back, they should be throwing fewer ordnance our way and towards our allies, and we should be expending a little less as this grinds forward just a little bit more. I see this right now as a way to look at how we always do, apply technology to achieve another revolution in military affairs, not to extend this war, but to extend the peace beyond this war. If America stays ahead, wins the technology, wins the space race, uses these means to kind of put these regional powers in their place when necessary, that's going to ultimately be a massive down payment on extended deterrence in Asia, the Middle East, and our own hemisphere.
How quickly can contractors who provide things like the Patriot missiles and the THAAD interceptors, how quickly can they ramp up production if needed?
Well, some of this is our standing on our own way. Obviously, President Trump is fully on board with the idea of flattening the old way of doing business where Beltway bandits became billionaires and things were too expensive, produced too few of them, and arrived way too late. So that old way of doing business has to stop, and I'm pretty sure the president might have shared an opinion or two along those lines. So whether it's regulatory holdups or other kinds of permitting, we've got to streamline these things. I think that's the two sides of the coin that Secretary Hegseth has really made a priority. One is the warrior ethos, and the other is we've got to do business at the speed of war in this century. And that's, I think, where this meeting comes right into front and center.
Yeah, we have to go, but real quickly, looking forward, President Trump has talked about wanting to work with the future leadership of Iran. How difficult is it to negotiate unconditional surrender when so much of the top of Iranian leadership has been wiped out?
Well, I think the politics of this are going to be a challenge, but it's a good challenge in the sense that we've achieved military dominance. We've defanged the ability of the regime to hurt their own people and us and the region. I think political leaders will emerge, whether they're in the military or otherwise. And so I think in time, this is going to come to clarity. For now, I think patience makes a lot of sense, and strategic communication so far has been pretty good by the president through this crisis.
Steve Yates, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.